Although the familiar formula is largely intact, Pokemon Sword and Shield add a ton of new features that shake up the experience. Whether you're a beginner or a veteran, here are some useful tidbits to keep in mind as you're exploring the Galar region. Catching Pokemon works the same as it always has, but the types of Pokemon you can find in the wild area can vary due to location and, most importantly, weather. The wild area is divided into several regions, and weather will change from region to region each day. The types of weather you encounter include rain, sandstorms, and harsh sunlight, and the terrain types from sun and moon. From what we can tell, the weather changes every day, so you'll want to revisit the wild area often. Fortunately, you don't need to visit the wild area every time you want to check the weather. If you open the town map, you can hover over different zones to see what the climate is like, or you can toggle weather on with the plus button. When you take your first steps in the wild area, you will most likely encounter an Onix to the left. What's odd about this Onix is that it's off on its own outside the tall grass. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, if you see a Pokemon wandering around outside the grass, that usually means it's a high-level Pokemon. Nothing is stopping you from battling these Pokemon right away, but I would advise caution. If you aren't careful, many of these Pokemon can chew through your party in a few moves. Even if you do manage to whittle down their HP, you won't be able to catch them until you have enough badges. Before you venture out into the wild area, we recommend taking some Pokédolls along with you, because these allow you to flee without fail. Once you have a few gym badges, you'll want to return to the wild area frequently so you can find and catch these rare and powerful Pokemon. Without digging into spoilers, there are some exciting and unexpected Pokemon you can find in the wild area. Pokemon Sword and Shield also adds camping. Before you get to the wild area, your mom will give you a camping set. This allows you to set up a tent, play with your Pokemon, and cook curry. Apart from being a heartwarming diversion, there are in-game benefits to camping. Playing with your Pokemon will strengthen your bond and net them some experience points. And if you need a break from catching and battling, then maybe it's time to give your Pokemon a well-earned rest. The highlight of the wild area are the raid battles. These battles allow you and 3 other trainers, both NPCs and real players, to battle and catch a Dynamax Pokemon. To initiate one of these, you'll need to find a den with a beam of light shooting out of the ground. Once you and your team knock out the Pokemon, every player is given one chance to catch it. From what we can tell, the odds of catching a raid Pokemon are fairly high. Fortunately, even if you don't catch the Dynamax Pokemon, you will get a bunch of rewards, including rare candies and XP candies, among other things. Early raid battles can be completed by yourself, however, they do get much tougher. When you start seeing 4 or 5-star raids pop up, we recommend finding a few buddies with high-level Pokemon to join you, as these battles can require a fair bit of coordination and preparation. As you inspect Pokemon dens in the wild area, you will collect a currency called Watts. Watts can be traded to NPCs for TRs, which are basically single-use TMs retro style, and wishing pieces. Throw a wishing piece into an empty den and voila, a Pokemon will appear and you can do a max raid even if there's no beam of light. If you see a Pokemon with a yellowish glow around it, catch it right away. It's not shiny, it's more powerful than normal, and that glow means it's generating Watts. Catching or defeating this Pokemon will net you some Watts, but catching it is better because these Pokemon also have some perfect stats. While you can access your Pokemon boxes from anywhere, you'll want to hit up the Rotomi PC in any Pokemon Center from time to time. This is the only way you can access Pokemon jobs, assignments you can send your Pokemon on for experience points and other minor rewards. Most of these jobs are dependent on type, like sending a certain number of grass-type Pokemon to help some people out. All you need to do is pick the Pokemon, decide how long you want them gone, and move on with your day. It's a great way to put your box Pokemon to use so they don't seem so lonely in there. Pokemon Sword and Shield don't have random encounters. Instead, most Pokemon walk around the overworld like they did in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. However, there are some Pokemon that will pop up as an exclamation point in the tall grass. These aren't totally random because you have to walk up to them to interact with them and start a battle, but the Pokemon you get will be random, and there are some Pokemon that can only be found hidden in the tall grass like this. Those are just a few tips to keep in mind as you explore Galar. If you're still unsure which version to pick up, check out our video outlining the key differences between Sword and Shield. For more Pokemon, stay tuned to GameSpot.